I don't mean to say that being wrong is the same thing as being creative. What we do know is, if you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. If you're not prepared to be wrong. And by the time they get to be...
Creativity expert Sir Ken Robinson in 2006 delivered one of the most popular TED Talks of all time. In it, he explains why education systems should nurture creativity, not undermine it. TED is a nonprofit organization known for spreading ideas around the globe. It's a place where people can give short, powerful talks on almost any topic, from procrastination to doodling to psychology and the brain. TED Talks rack up more than 3.4 billion views every year. They've been translated into more than 110 languages. We're really excited this morning to announce a new partnership with TED. Our new series called Ideas That Matter will feature TED speakers right here on CBS This Morning. The discussions will highlight individuals and ideas that help shape our world. Chris Anderson is the curator and head of TED. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you again.
Hello.
I'm excited about this partnership.
Yeah. So why are you excited about this partnership?
I'm excited because ideas are heroes that don't often get the recognition they deserve. It's crazy when you think about it, like how tiny a thing an idea is. It's this little spark in someone's head. But they have so much power because they can change how that person sees the world, what they do, and they can spread from person to person. And so they have just untold impact over the long term. And it's kind of amazing when you look back in history and see the kinds of things that, you know, the news stories or the events that we usually talk about. Often ideas just get underplayed. Mm-hmm.
And the hope of this, what's so wonderful, is that in this time of shredded idea attention and where everything feels bite-sized and small, these ideas, as you say, can change lives. People immerse themselves in them. They have a kind of deep connection with them that we don't necessarily associate with the pace of modern life.
Yeah, if you have a problem in the world, to solve that problem, it's going to take an idea at some point, and a person willing to push that idea and persuade other people that it is worth paying attention to.
So this partnership will launch in 2019. What kinds of speakers do we expect to hear from, and the types of topics?
So ideas can do lots of things, you know, like we often think of them as these light bulb moments, these inventions, a scientific discovery. Those things, of course, can have, you know, huge influence over time. But ideas can also be things that just correct a current problem in the world. It's like they give people a different way of seeing the world. So, for example, you know, right, you can see the world as full of problems and disasters, and someone says, no, actually, no, that's not the right way to think about it. Actually, there's been incredible progress. Don't be so downhearted. Humans are capable of making progress. And, you know, that's what Steven Pinker famously did this year.
And ideas don't necessarily have an expiration date, too, right? You can go back and watch an old TED Talk and see it completely differently a few years down the road. Which of the TED Talks have surprised you the most?
Well, that clip you just showed of Ken Robinson, you know, he gave that talk back in 2006 about creativity. And that has become more and more relevant now because as you look, you know, we look forward to this scary future right now. Well, we don't know what jobs will be like in the future. It looks like robots, AI, artificial intelligence will take over so many jobs. And one of the human superpowers is going to be creativity. And so there's more reason than ever to nurture it. So that talk seems even more relevant now than it did at the time.
We all want more human superpowers.
Right. Exactly.
I do want to give people a sense of, though, who the type of speakers are. And one of them is Jan Rader. She's a fire chief from West Virginia who's been helping fight the opioid epidemic. I looked in, she's like the first female fire chief in Huntington, West Virginia. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, so this is a classic case where the opioid epidemic seems like such an overwhelming problem. You know, it's just, how did we get into this state? It's so shocking that so many people in so many parts of America and elsewhere in the world, you know, are addicted and can't run their lives like they would. Most people's response is to kind of throw up their hands or just get really angry. Her response was different. It was like, okay, what could we do about this? And in her town, she has led an initiative to find a unique solution to this that can actually work, both with addicts and with frontline responders to it, to change their thinking about how to tackle this problem.
I like the idea of focusing on that ideas that matter can also be solution-based ideas to big problems that we face.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In the crop from 2018, there are some that you like that are about being receptive to new ideas, right?
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, you know, one of the things that we all worry about a lot right now is the increasing division between people. You know, the sort of the narrowing of the world into these sort of partisan bubbles where we just lob insults at each other on Twitter or Facebook and start to hate each other and even feel disgusted by each other. This is really dangerous for it. And so I think some of the most important ideas shared in the last year have been, what do we do about that? And on the one hand, there are things we probably need to do just in terms of how we structure social media. There was a talk given by Jaron Lanier who was pointing out that by pushing for free services, that was going to be a problem.
And sorry, we're out of time. Thanks so much, Chris, for being with us. We'll be right back.